I've saved my progress as badrightside.ai. And in this exercise, we're going to go ahead and take this bad right side and make it good. So what I've done, I've got my white arrow tool selected, and I've clicked on one of the offending points here, and then I shift-clicked on the other, and you can see that these corners are way too high, so the apex of the roof is just fine. The base of the shape is fine as well because this little gaff right here is covered up by the baseboard. However, these points will never do. And I can go ahead and adjust them in perspective. I can actually transform them in perspective using the shear tool, which is available from the scale tool flyout menu. Now, I was showing you how to use this tool to create isometric projections way back at the beginning of this chapter. It is not a perspective grid savvy tool. I want to emphasize that. However, it does a great job of simulating perspective on the fly, and I'll show you what I mean. What you've got to do in order to make this tool work properly is you've got to specify a proper transformation origin, and that origin needs to be set dead on the vanishing point. And the great thing is you know where the vanishing point is because you can see the perspective grid. So you want to go ahead and click on the vanishing point that's associated with the target pane, in our case, the right-hand pane. And then you'll see this little cyan target. It's hard to see on screen here, but there it is. And then you want to go ahead and drag like so, far away from that origin point, preferably on the other side of your shape, as I'm doing. And as you drag, go ahead and press the Shift key in order to constrain the angle of that drag. Now, what's possibly a better idea? Actually, I'm going to try that again. I'll press Control-Z or Command-Z on the Mac. That goes ahead and resets the points. However, the transformation origin will go ahead and stay where it was. I'm going to press Control-U or Command-U on the Mac to turn back on my smart guides because I had turned them off like usual. And now I'll go ahead and drag from the anchor point. I'll drag directly on one of these anchor points while I press the Shift key, and that way I'll get a dead snap like that. And now notice that this ensures exact proper alignment. Check it out. I'll go ahead and zoom in here. This point and this point are located equidistant from this grid line right here so that we know that we have an absolute perspective match. Now, we didn't necessarily do it in perspective. That is, we didn't properly avail ourselves of the perspective grid feature. But you know why we didn't properly avail ourselves? Because we couldn't, because it wasn't an option. However, using the shear tool, it is an option. And that's one of the reasons I showed you how to create an isometric projection back at the beginning of the chapter. All right, so there you have it, a quick and easy way to match the perspective of a scene by clicking to set the transformation origin on the vanishing point that's associated with the pane that you're working on, and then dragging directly on the anchor point while pressing the Shift key with the shear tool.